And welcome to the Mekabre&Co 2022 fashion show pre-Witch Queen. Now, we had quite a few entries, not as many as I was hoping for, so no Witch Queen giveaway for those who were on their seats about it, or on the edge of their seats about it. I'm just showing off a little bit of drip on my hunter, perhaps, while we're waiting. Anyways, just a quick refresher for those who entered. I will be grading on a scale of 1 to 10. I'll give that grade at the very end, not to give anything away. But throughout, I'll be making comments, some things I enjoyed, some things I wasn't so sold about, some things that you could work on, or some things that I'm going to take inspiration from. Keep in mind, I am a very biased judge. Matter of fact, I'm not the greatest to be talking about this. If you don't agree with the drip on my hunter, perhaps you should maybe tell me in the comment section down below. I think it's not half bad for using an exotic. That doesn't really, doesn't look great. We'll put it that way. Anyways, we'll jump into it here in a second. You'll get like I said, you'll get a grade of 1 through 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst at the very end, with a couple of goodie notes that I'll be taking throughout. These goodie notes will be things that are good or bad on your Guardian and help distinguish in the case of a tie. Only in the case of a first place tie, however, as if anyone else ties, it won't matter. Now, keep in mind, as long as you're scoring higher than a 5, you're doing good. That means your Guardian is good. I think it's good. Now, I'm assuming, and matter of fact, I'm almost guaranteeing all the Guardians submitted were very well done. I've taken peeks, I haven't looked too thoroughly into it, but I've taken some peeks, and I'm sure they're all very well done. So with that, sit back, enjoy. Maybe you can take some of my advice and, make the changes. Or maybe you're like, no, screw off, Mekabre. You have no clue what you're talking about. Which is perfectly fine. I do ask, if you're not already subscribed, go ahead and do that. And if you're watching this video, why not just go down below and drop a like or comment at the end, Let me know. Enjoy the video. And I hope you guys somewhat agree with my opinion on these Guardians. Enjoy. So, with no particular order in mind, let us start with Father Walsh, Father Tech Support. As you all know him on stream, Matt is more or less my manager. He's one of the, 4 admins? I think I have 4 for the clan. So you guys may know him from that as well. He does a lot for the clan and helps out quite a bit. He submitted his warlock to us, so let's check that out. So here we have our first picture. This is from the front, kind of getting an idea. This is what I was looking for. We got all of our different pieces of armor and our ornaments used with them, and then also the shaders in tandem. We would love to see that. What I'm really liking right off the bat, I do like the looks. I very much like the looks. I mean, you're sending in a warlock already kind of biased because I'm a warlock main. Very nice spread in terms of shaders. We have an incredible spread of shaders. Matter of fact, only having the same shader on here twice and that being it is quite incredible actually, and you don't see that a whole lot. So very, very impressed. I like how all of our different pieces of armor are different as well. We're not having a bunch of the same stuff. We're even including some brand new stuff, like these street scholar robes, for example, are very, very well done, very new, and I like the way you incorporate them. So let's look at from the side, get a little bit of view of the bond, which, obviously is a little difficult to see with the robes, but that's okay. I think I know this bond pretty well, and I like it. Once again, from the back, taking everything in, and then here's his 2 pictures in the wild. Looks like we kind of got a little bit of a start of an emote, perhaps the end of an emote on Javelin 4, I believe. Awesome. I like that. Kind of, going with the warlocks being a little more magical than the others in some respect. Space wizards. Okay. Playing into the street scholar, I'm assuming, with these books. I like it. Warlocks, books, all of that. It works very, very well. Overall, quite impressed. I'll give the score at the end when we're ranking everyone. But I very, very much like how you have different shaders, different ornaments. Nothing is the same except for that one shader twice, which is perfectly fine. Like, I love having, a good spread, and you nailed that. Also, originality, out of the park. But like I said, we'll give that score at the end. Overall, very well done. Now, moving on to our second submission, one of the PlayStation submissions. Once again, I am not grading on image quality. As you can see, this is a phone taking a picture of a TV screen or a monitor. Perfectly fine. I'm not going to judge based on that. This is Wonder, or Two Pumps and a Dump in the clan, I believe is his name. So he sent in, looks to be a Warlock. And last time, I still feel horrible about jipping you first place, because you easily could have had it. Let's see what changed, and already, I mean, there's a lot that has changed. I like these looks. These robes, some of my favorite in-game by far. Look at it from the side here. Nice, nice. Oh, it looks like you might have used a Phidian aspect, which is, that is a choice. Using an exotic is not always the easiest thing, especially on a Warlock. So I'm very impressed with that. Here's from the back. And then we'll drop down real quick before we get to his 2 in the wild. Here is the distribution of shaders, and here's the distribution of ornaments. And man, I mean, we're talking brand new stuff. Everything's spread out, no duplicates whatsoever between shaders and ornaments. That's amazing. And not even putting, I don't know if the ornaments for Phidians are any good or if there are any in the first place, but the fact that you didn't need to use one, just putting a shader on and it works so well together is very impressive. Now we'll go up. Here is one of his photos in the wild. He titled this one A Fine Farewell, as Spider is leaving us here with Witch Queen. So fair enough there. And here is the second one, which he titled Deep Stasis Thoughts, which this is on Europa, I believe, with the pyramid ships, where you go to finish your fragments or whatever. Very, very nice. I like the new sword on the back. Hopefully it's got Eager Edge on it. I like the emote with this one as well. It works very well for kind of what you're putting together, I feel like. And the fact that you're facing away from us, truly are in, some sort of deep thought. So, what do I have to say about this Warlock? Very, very well done. I like the theme. The colors just work well. Like this bronze and this navy blue with hints of like this lighter blue or almost gray of sorts. It's incredible. And then, you got a couple splashes of like this kind of OD green in a couple areas. Very, very well done. Everything works together. I love the originality on this. Not a single reused shader or a single reused ornament. And the fact that you're able to successfully incorporate an exotic into it without an ornament for the exotic, man, is very impressive. The only thing I will say that does limit it a little bit is everything's very symmetrical except for the fact that the Phidian is only on one side. Still, very, very well done. We'll give your final score at the end. Moving on to our third entry. Here we have Tasty, as you guys all know him. And he submitted his Hunter. Yet again, bold choice, but he definitely switched some stuff up. So, let's take a little bit of a deeper look into it. So first thing, right off the bat, we have an exotic used. Once again, crazy. Some brownie points for that. Using an exotic and not applying an ornament to the exotic is bold. But then on top of that, if it doesn't have one and still making it work, very, very well done. Here, we see there's only one duplicated shader. That's very impressive. And it's on the exotic nonetheless, so it makes sense. It's one of those things that's not going to take shaders as well. So it's, you're kind of required to possibly use the same thing. I love how in the ornament section, we have everything that's different. I mean, we're talking some serious originality here. Let's bump up to the side view here. Once again, I'm digging it. This cloak is a very, very nice cloak. It's one that I've used on and off. It's very, very good. The helmet is one of my favorite helmets for hunters, just because I think it looks sick. But everything works really well together. And it's kind of funny, like one thing that we talk about a lot is how shaders don't always hold true to their color. You see that with his arms. I mean, his arms don't quite look like that shader. I was expecting some blue or some green, but you really don't see any. And so it works really well together. Once again, very, very well done Hunter. Not this edgy look that you would see most of the time. And I like these splashes of red and, this copper in it. Very, very well done. I feel like there's almost been a theme thus far, but, who knows? All right, here's screenshot number 1. Looks to be like you're on one of the trees in Nessus doing an emote. I love this emote. I love how your mask just disappears and all you see are these eyes. Very, very well done with this photo. Here's your second one, kind of peeking over this grass, it looks like. Also very, very well done. Mask doesn't quite disappear in this one, but it's still some of that same effect with those eyes just glowing at you. Very, very well done, Hunter. Tasty. I don't have too much to say about it. It's incredible. They're very, very well done. I love that you're using an exotic. I think that's 6th coyote, if I'm not mistaken. And you don't see, like I said, you don't see exotics used in fashion shows a lot because they're very difficult to work around. So big props to that. I'll give your score at the end as well. All right, moving on to our 4th entry. I think 4th, right? 4th is Crybaby Cryptid. As you guys may know her, Venice. I don't know if any other way. Server Grandma, perhaps. Anyways, let's jump into it. She submitted her hunter, so the 2nd hunter. She is using an exotic. She's using an ornament with the exotic. So, maybe that's, to some extent what she was basing it off of. Let's see. We have one duplicate, or 2 sets of 2 duplicate shaders. We have Precursor Vex Chrome used twice, and Yakarina used twice, or Jacarina, however you say it. Let's see. No duplicate ornaments, and one doesn't even have an ornament, which is sometimes, the way to go. Sometimes you don't need to change it. Sometimes it's good just the way it is. I like the vibes, the colors match very well. The only thing is you start with this very light tone up top, and maybe it'll change once I turn your hunter around. You start with this very light tone up top with all these white and silver, and then you work your way down and it's a lot more of this bronze color, which is kind of cool, but I don't know if that's what you were going for or not. Just putting it out there. Yeah, so the cloak does tie in with the helmet the whole time, so maybe that'll balance it out a little bit. And then look at it from the back. Oh, no, there's some slight bronze at the bottom. Oh, no, that works well then, I think. I like how it does go from one to the other. It's very odd because it's like the slow transition, but it is very cool. All right, and let's scroll down. Here is picture number 1 using the new emote that is from Witch Queen pre-order. We love to see that. I believe you're on the moon, looking at Earth, doing some deep thoughts. All right, and then here is the second one, popping that arc staff. I think you're on the moon yet again, just posing. Awesome. Well, then, is very well done, Hunter. Once again, props to using an exotic and making it work. Is this the best exotic choice? I would argue there might be some other helmets, even legendary helmets, that would fit this a little bit better, but it works very well how it is, so I'm not going to complain too much there. Very well done, Hunter. I'll give you a score at the end. On to our final submission. Here we have Vito, as you all know him. He is, once again, one of the clan admins. So is Crybaby Cryptid, or Venice, I should mention that. He submitted his Warlock, which is odd. He is a Titan main. You don't have to submit your main, but it is a choice to not submit your main. Just saying. I don't know if he was trying to catch me off guard here and be like, I know Mekabre is a Warlock main, so if I send in my Warlock, I'll get brownie points right off the bat. If only that's how it worked. No. Anyways, I love how we see no duplicate shaders at all. That is incredible. And then we jump on over, and we do see a little bit of duplication with ornaments. We have the Meridian Constellation wraps, pants, and bond, which is a little bit unfortunate. We don't like to see a bunch of the same set used, so not great in that regards. And the color I go back and forth on. Everything helmet down, I dig, this purple and yellow, or purple and gold almost, it works very well. The helmet kind of sticks out a little bit, but the helmet is a very dope helmet in and of itself, so I don't know if that's what you were trying to separate. Here's from the side, showing off that bond, which I do absolutely love that bond. And then here's from the back, which the back definitely works a little bit better, as there's a lot more gold, a lot more yellow on the back side, and it matches with the helmet a little bit better. Moving up to our 2 pictures in the wild. Now here's where this might just be the camera coming into play. Here's picture number 1, where it almost looks more orange and not as much bronzes or yellow, but it looks to be the same color as the helmet. So I don't know. I know the helmet's very shiny, it's very reflective, and I don't think this cloak is, if I recall. So some issues there with one being shiny and one not, even if they are the same shade. But we're in the new Dares of Eternity at Zur's Treasure Hoard area, I think, right? So awesome there with the Warlock statue in the background. Here's picture number 2. Come on, man, you can take pictures in different spots. They don't have to be in the same one. I mean, the same goes to Venice, who took both her pictures on the moon, or Tasty, who took both their pictures on Nessus, you know? You guys can take them wherever. I know it's easy to do sometimes in the same spot, but Vito, in your case, at least move your guy around a little bit. It's like in the same exact spot on screen. I do like this emote, like I think it's about to clap, right? So, I don't know, a little different, even if you are doing some sort of dance. Overall, I will say, and this could just be, like I said, picture quality, I'm not 100% sure. I like that everything matches, especially if your helmet and your pants really do tie together very well, or at least they're pretty close to. But having your helmet be really shiny and then your cloak not be shiny is difficult to argue in the long run. You know, you want both to be shiny or neither to be shiny. Or something else on you to be shiny. Perhaps it's your legs that you make shiny and have a lot of bronze on them, or gold, whatever your helmet is, to match. And then that'll tie it all together. So really focus on that. Overall, though, I do like the colors in this. And it's colors that you don't see a whole lot, as most Warlocks are either, as we saw in the first picture, with a lot of white, a lot of bronze, or it's a lot of white, a lot of black. There's not a lot of variations past that. So big shout out to mixing it up. I'll give your score at the end, which is coming up right up here, where I'm going to be ranking from last place all the way up to first place. There is no reward for first place because we didn't meet our criteria to do a Witch Queen giveaway. But maybe there'll be a shout out or something special. I just hope you guys truly did enjoy. So let's get to the scores. All right, so unfortunately, we are beginning to score. And like I said, we're going from last to first. Now, if you recall, in the video I said I would be grading on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst. And then additionally, you would have some brownie points or some goodie notes that I'd be writing down about your character, things I liked or disliked in case of a tie. Now, while we don't have a tie for first, we unfortunately do have a tie for last. Vito's Warlock, as seen on screen, and Venice's Hunter, as seen on screen. You guys, both of you, I'm sorry, you tied for last place for 6 points. That's what I'm giving your Guardians, which, keep in mind, 6 isn't necessarily bad. A couple critiques that I would have overall and some things that I wrote down and noticed. We'll start with Venice's Hunter here. Like I said, there's probably a better helmet. Additionally, having some of these shaders that duplicate, while I know you still have a decent variety, it'd be better to see maybe 5 different shaders, or only 1 shader used twice instead of 2 shaders used twice. So maybe work on that. Additionally, one other thing that I have written down is that I'm not sure if you were going for this whole vibe of the top of your Hunter is very light, and then it progresses down into bronze. I don't mind the look, however, if it was more all over, or you did decide this is truly what you were going for, then perhaps, maybe, but definitely would work a little bit better if you had rearranged it slightly different. As for Vito, your Warlock was very well done as well. The reason I'm giving your Warlock 6 points, quite simply put, 2 reasons. The pictures in the wild. Come on, man, you didn't even move your Warlock, you just changed emotes. And then additionally, 3 of the same ornament types, there's not much originality in that. And while it looks really, really good, and I think if I saw this on screen, like on my screen, instead of through this picture, it would look even better than what it does. But like I said, I'm not even grading on that, so it's hard to say. And then the only other thing that I have written down here is your helmet's shiny, your cloak is not. And it's very hard to, distinguish between those two and argue that they match and that you shouldn't go one way or the other. So maybe look at that again. I did like the fact that you have all different shaders, and like I said, I do like the colors of your Warlock, so keep that in mind. I'm sorry, you guys are tied for last. Moving on to third place, we have Matt, Father Walsh, Father Tech Support. Your Warlock came in third, and man, oh man, these top three, they're close, okay? I love the look of your Warlock. It's simplistic, it's very, very natural. I love the color scheme. Couple reasons you got put here instead of higher up. First things first. I love the look of the robe, but there's probably, and I could be wrong, maybe you tried all these combinations, but there's probably a cloak that could darken that color just the tiniest a bit and make it blend a little bit better with everything else. I'm not saying a lot, but just by the tiniest bit. Because if you really do turn to the side, I mean, your bond, besides that ring, is like non-existent. And then additionally, it makes everything else stand out and pop, which is great. But it doesn't really go all that well. So maybe try and find something just a tiny bit darker. I don't know if there's anything out there, and maybe I'm suggesting something that's impossible. But I am giving your Warlock a score of 8. So keep that in mind. It's still very, very good. I just happened to like the other two just a tiny bit better. That's all. As far as goodie notes or brownie points that I have for you, I like the fact that only... oh, no, just kidding. Same thing as Venice. I did not notice this earlier. 2 shaders. Same thing there. I mean, I know. Sometimes it just doesn't work, and sometimes that means you have to mix it up even more. Maybe look for some more shaders. I don't know what to tell you. But try and find some variety in the shaders. I do like the fact that they are still really mixed. And like I said, your Warlock's still very well done. I'm giving it an 8. So congrats on 3rd place. Now moving into 2nd, we have Tasty. Tasty, your Hunter, came in 2nd. And man, oh man, was it tough between you and Wonder. Now, Tasty, you finished with 9 points out of 10 points. Literally just 1 tiny point off of max. And oh, it was so very close. Very, very well done, Hunter. I love the looks. I love the colors. Everything works really, really well together. As for your pictures in the wild, I think the first one was definitely better than the second one, as your mask just disappears. And that effect is super, super cool. The second one, you know, you could have possibly gotten the same. I'm not sure if the shade and the game would work that way, but if you could have, it would have definitely helped a little bit. As far as like actual hard things that I would change or would try and change, would be shaders if possible. But if not possible, I totally understand. Congrats on 2nd place. By all means, this is a very, very good looking Hunter. Keep that in mind. On to 1st place, Wonder. Now, congrats. You won this one. Lost the last one by just the tiniest bit. You redeemed yourself here by a landslide. Couple reasons as to why. First off, I love the colors on this Warlock. Having the bronze and that navy with a little bit of gray, a little bit of OD green in spots, it works really, really well together, and to a degree where I might try and find a similar color scheme. Now, Matt, you had touched on this, and your Warlock's very similar in color scheme. Perhaps something like this darker gray, if possible, on your cloak, like he has on his chest. That would be something I'd recommend. Very, very well done. Moving down in terms of shaders and in terms of ornaments, I mean, we're seeing everything's different. Every single thing's different. We don't have a single duplicate thing here. That is incredible. I'm talking originality through the roof. Finding specific shaders that just work is difficult sometimes, and I know it is, because I struggle with fashion, specifically on my Warlock. But man, Wonder, you made it work. The only thing, and I quite literally mean the only thing I would change on your Warlock, and it's something that's out of our control, and it's not something that we're going to be able to do anytime soon, is the fact that everything's symmetrical except for Ophidian aspect. That's the only thing that if there was an ornament that changed it, just made it better and had it on both sides, the only thing I would change. Otherwise, everything's very, very well done here. I do give you a 10 out of 10. Know that it is not like that full 10 out of 10. It's like just barely 10. It's not perfect, but it is so close to being perfect. Congrats on winning the Mekabre&Co 2022 fashion show pre-Witch Queen. I wish I could be giving you a Witch Queen bundle right now. Maybe in the future when we do another fashion show, we'll hit our quota for a giveaway. Congratulations to everyone that participated. I loved each and every one of your guardians. Like I said, none of them were bad by any means, and the only thing I would suggest moving forward is that when you have pictures you can take in the wild, make them count. And this goes to just about everyone. Not saying that everyone had bad pictures, but take the time, go somewhere new, move your character, find that emote, find that beautiful scenery in the background, make it work. This is proof that even if you're taking a picture of a TV screen, it still works well. So congrats once again, Wonder. With that, I got nothing else to say. Stay tuned for some fun Witch Queen prep and some fun videos on the way as soon as Witch Queen drops. And with that, I got nothing else to say except for get back to grinding, you crazy guardians.